We finished a definitive feasibility study last year on the mine, which showed strong economics, middle of the cost curve, cost basis, good quality hard coking coal, should sell at a slight discount to the premium hard coking coals. If we were operating that mine today, Leo, we'd be making about 100 million US EBITDA per annum.
Well, hello, welcome to Assay TV. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Peter Doyle, who is the Managing Director and CEO of Montem Resources. Montem Resources are an ASX listed company who are currently reopening the Tent Mountain coking coal mine in Alberta and also working on developing another historic mine, the Chinook project, also in Alberta. Peter, great to see you today. If we can start things off, tell us a little bit about the history of the Tent Mountain mine there and what are your immediate plans for that project?
Sure, thanks for having me, Leo. So Tent Mountain Mine last operated in 1983. We bought the project among a suite of projects in 2016 and have been working since 2017 in bringing Tent Mountain back into production. So that's included a bunch of work on the ground, including several seasons of exploration, mine planning, obviously, and a lot of work on baseline data to prepare for an environmental impact assessment of restarting the mine. We are coming to the end of that process, which is very, very exciting. We finished a definitive feasibility study last year on the mine, which showed strong economics, middle of the cost curve, cost basis, good quality hard coking coal, should sell at a slight discount to the premium hard coking coals. If we were operating that mine today, Leo, we'd be making about 100 million US EBITDA per annum. And the stage of permitting that we're up to, we're advertising right now for what are known as the terms of reference for the EIA. And it sounds a little bit backwards, but it's actually one of the final steps. So we have done nearly 3 years of baseline environmental analysis of the site, and we're in the final throes of putting together the environmental impact assessment. That'll go into the regulator, the provincial regulator, later in our summer here in Canada, and hopefully within 12 months we'll get green light to restart that site and start delivering coal sales into the market in 2023.
And in terms of the market at the moment, China obviously banned Australian imports of coking coal. There must be, I guess, Canada an opportunity there for Canada to step into that gap in the market.
Yeah, that is happening. Don't want to get into politics between China and Australia. Interesting nonetheless, but yeah, Canada and the Canadian coal sales are really strong into China. Teck, who's next door to us, is swinging as much coal. My understanding is they're swinging as much of their spot sales as they can towards China. And of course, the Aussies are taking their spot sales away and sending it to other markets such as India. And yeah, Teck's netting something like around about $200 a ton FOB at West Shore Port, which is where we'd be selling our coal through as well. So very, very strong sales price for the Canadians and the US coal producers at the moment for coal sales into China. And look, the long-term output, just very quickly, or the long-term outlook for hard coking coal prices by all the major forecasters are really, really strong. The 10-year historical average is around $180. And most forecasters are thinking that the long-term average should be up around 150 towards 200 in that bracket over the next 10 to 20 years.
I mean, you mentioned you've done a definitive feasibility study and you were in the sort of middle of the cost curve. What sort of figures were you getting in terms of your costs?
Between $85 and $88 a ton, US dollars a ton, FOB West Shore. We're hoping to optimize that. We're doing an optimization work now on that mine to try and bring those costs down a little bit. We don't expect them to come down too much further, maybe high 70s if we go well. But that's really competitive on the global stage, Leo. I mean, there's some there's some assets in the bottom end of the cost curve that are owned by the largest coking coal miners in existence. Those are long life assets owned by BHP and a few others. Middle of the cost curve is a very, very strong starting point for Montem.
Absolutely. And in terms of logistics in the area, you mentioned you've got Teck next door. I believe you've got Hancock as well in the region. Logistics, coal is all about sort of, making sure you've got access to transportation, rail lines, things like that. How's it looking in your area?
Yeah, so the main railway line is owned and operated by a company called CP Rail, and they carry all of Teck's product and will carry our product to the Port of Westshore. So we've got a contract with Westshore for 1.25 million tonnes per annum of stockpile space and throughput capacity. CP have said they'll take our coal. We're negotiating a contract with them at the moment. And yeah, we're very, very confident that the railway siding site, we have an option over the land for that site from a private vendor. That is 8-kilometre haul from our coal preparation plant on the mine site. And it's a very compact site all up, actually. And it's all enclosed in one sort of area off the side of the main transport link. But it is really handy having the main east-west railway line running straight past your front door, effectively. For coal, as you said, it's bulk and it's all about logistics. So yeah, having CP Rail run through your project, so they run through the middle of the Chinook project and just to the north of the Tent Mountain mining permit area, gives us a great advantage.
I mean, let's talk about Chinook now. What have you got there? What have you done so far, and what's the history of mining in that project?
Yeah, okay. So the Chinook project, in the way we define Chinook, is all on what's known as Category 4 land here, and I can explain that to you in a little while. But that is an advantage. It allows, or it contemplates, open cut mining, it was previously mined over a very long period of time as underground mines and as small open cut mines over a long distance, over a 40-kilometre strike length. We're focused mainly on an area called Chinook Vicary at the moment. We went drilling there late last season in the fall here in September, October, November. And we very excitingly got the results back from that drilling recently, and we're really quite enthralled with those results. They are as good a high quality low or high low vol or what's known as a mid vol hard coking coal, premium hard coking coal, or a tier 1 hard coking coal. It's as good a coal as is on the market. And that obviously is extremely exciting for Montem. We already knew that it was going to be good coal because it used to be sold to the Japanese steelmakers. And in fact, when we went and saw them pre-COVID and talked to them about Tent Mountain and about Chinook, they were excited to learn that there was a possibility that they could buy these coals again, because they were well received then and they'll be well received in the market again.
Absolutely. I mean, when people are all concerned about CO2 emissions and managing that sort of thing, obviously having the highest quality coal is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a cornerstone in any coke blend is this sort of 20 volt coal, 21 volt coal, and it's low ash. It's got a CSR of over 70, and yeah, it makes extremely strong and high quality coke. I mentioned Category 4 before, and I just want to, I guess, jump in and prompt a question. So the permitting at coal mines in Alberta is undergoing some review. For Tent Mountain, our mine, we have a valid mine permit and an environmental approval with that permit. And we, to get the mine restarted, we need to amend those permits. On top of that, there is a coal categorisation that was put in 1976 in Alberta, which classified different areas of the province and what could occur on lands in 4 different categories. And I don't want to go into it in great detail, other than Category 4 is the area where Tent Mountain and Chinook is based, and that contemplates open cut mining. We're very pleased with that. there's been a bit of a flashpoint around this, but those Category 4 assets in our mind give us a great benefit and strength in that open cut mining was always contemplated on these lands. It was previously undertaken. These are disturbed mine sites, and our environmental baseline work shows that. And we're very confident that we can come and mine these sites in a modern manner, be environmentally aware, and mitigate any downstream effects of these mines, and abide by all the laws and regulations that regulate coal mining in Canada and Alberta.
Absolutely. So what are your next steps at Chinook then to move that project forward?
Yeah, so we recently raised some money, Leo, for the next campaign of drilling. So the scoping study that we completed earlier this year had very strong and impressive economics, but not enough geological certainty to release them on the ASX. So what we need to do is increase the drilling density there, collect more coal quality, make sure that we are defining the areas of the lowest ratio coal and therefore the cheapest mining, and reproduce or upgrade that scoping study so we can release the results to investors. So yeah, we will be undertaking a significant drill program this summer here, and those results will come out at the end of this year and early in 2022.
Absolutely. And I understand you're moving up to Alberta to be closer to your project.
Yeah, look, I think it's important that we're there where the project is, and certainly where the activity is, and where the government is, and where our Indigenous peoples want to meet with us, and become part of the local community. We've been working there hard since 2017. We opened we refurbished an office in the main town where our projects are, and that's where our people are based. But yeah, my family and I, we just bought a house in Calgary, and we're moving there very shortly.
Excellent. Well, you've got a busy year ahead of you. Thank you very much, though, for joining us today, Peter, and giving us an update on the company.
Thank you, Leo. I look forward to hearing from your investors.
Thanks.